Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our Lambeth Academy Sixth Form information evening tonight. So big welcome to all of our Year 11s, and of course a very special welcome to any Hurlingham students that are joining us alongside any external applicants. We're delighted to have you with us this evening. I'd like to start by talking to you a little bit about why I truly believe that choosing to come to the Lambeth Academy Sixth Form will be the best decision that you make. When we talk about the Lambeth Academy journey, what we're really talking about is a 7-year journey from year 7 right through to the end of year 13. But for us, the journey doesn't end there. In fact, some might argue that that's where it all gets really exciting and the most interesting part begins. We care really deeply about what you, or for those parents, your child does after they leave our sixth form. It's so important to us, and everything we do is trying to make sure that our students can go on to lead as happy and a fulfilled life as possible. Now, the way to achieve that is to have choice over what they do in the future, because that is what will lead to the best universities, the best professions. And to be able to have that freedom of choice means achieving the best grades possible. And that is why we also care deeply about your child's academic achievements, because the higher the grades, the more doors that are open and the more freedom of choice we all have over our future. Now, alongside that, we take our responsibility to prepare our sixth formers for the outside world very seriously. At Lambeth Academy, we provide a really holistic education, and Mr. Hemming's going to talk in more detail about this. You know, we help your child prepare to manage their own bank accounts, to apply for university or jobs or work experience, or maybe a part-time job. We also take our responsibility to help them promote good mental health and well-being very seriously as well. So what you're signing up to when you sign up to the Lambeth Academy Sixth Form experience really is the whole package. Yes, we will deliver for you or your child on academic outcomes, but we will also nurture and support and guide there. And the way I like to summarise it is by saying we have high challenge, but we have high support that goes hand in hand with that as well. So, warm welcome to you all. I'm now delighted to hand over to Mr. Mathershaw, who's going to speak to you next. So thank you and enjoy the evening.
Hi everybody, and as Miss Welch said, welcome to our sixth form information evening. It's a pleasure to have you join us to find out more about the Lambeth Academy sixth form. We have spoken to your child at length about why we are the best sixth form in the entire Lambeth borough, and I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you about it too. I want you to leave us tonight with no doubt in your mind that we are one of the best sixth form schools in the local area. Indeed, the most improved sixth form in the Lambeth borough over the last 2 years. I'll qualify that as we go through tonight's presentation, but I want to start by saying that one of the biggest factors in our success is our fantastic students. We are home to the hardest working students in the UK. And I will truly attest to their commitment and their attitude to get the very best results for their future. Our students deserve the success that they achieve at Lambeth Academy Sixth Form. If your child joins us, they will be a part of that legacy too. So why are we the most improved sixth form in Lambeth? Well, the current team has been in place now for 2 years, and in that time we've developed a sixth form which depends upon excellent teaching and learning, excellent working habits, excellent personal development, and excellent self-care. We looked at what the best private schools in the country do, and then we stole with pride from them, tweaking very slightly for our own programme of study. With the support of United Learning and Surbiton High School, one of the most prestigious independent schools in the country, we've developed an ethos and culture around ambition and aspiration. And as a result, our students are happier, prouder, and more confident. Lambeth Academy is a 7-year journey for most students, but for those of you that didn't join us in year 7 or year 10, and you're not with us at the moment, for those of you that are going to a different school at the moment, we are privileged to have you come join us for the final 2 years of your educational journey. We began the transformation as a sixth form with a new vision that our students will be exceptional, that our students will have the ambition, the drive and the opportunity to climb the mountain, because it is a struggle, to the best universities and the very best professions. And we can absolutely attest to the fact that they are indeed the hardest working students in the UK, as I've said, with fantastically high aspirations and an insatiable drive to go to the very best universities and professions. And you'll see that in a couple of minutes when I show you where our students are going at the end of this year. But we recognised also some schools push only for the academic, and we know that the grades that your child receives at the end of year 13 will open doors for them, as Miss Welch said. But some schools only care about that as long as students are achieving great grades, and that's all that matters. And we recognised actually that as a sixth form, we're setting our young people up for way more than just going to university. We're setting them up for success for the rest of their life. So our mission at Lambeth Academy is far more holistic than our vision. We want students to strive for their own professional and personal best. We want them to make healthy, wealthy and principled choices that lead to happy and fulfilled lives. Our job as a school is to foster the self-discipline, the creativity and the high self-esteem, the determination and confidence in students so that they can make a positive contribution to the global society of which they're a part. Lambeth Academy is an exciting school to be at. Over the last 2 years, we have subjects that have actually achieved progress, which has been some of the best progress achieved across the entire country. And we are so proud of our teaching staff and our students in these areas who've worked so hard to make sure that the grades that they started with at GCSE were what they ended with at the end of year 13 was so much better than we would ever have expected when they finished their GCSEs. So for chemistry and history, they are in the top 1% of schools for progress nationally. That means that if you were to go and study chemistry or history in 99% of other sixth forms across the country, you would not do as well as you do at Lambeth Academy. That subject base widens when you look at the top 10% for progress nationally. And what this means is if you were to go and study any of these subjects in 90% of other schools in the country, you would not do as well as you would at Lambeth Academy. So they are Chinese, biology, French, Spanish, physics, sport, psychology, and health and social care. And we're in the top 25% of schools for progress nationally in maths, in sociology, and in business. Obviously, that means that if you were to go to 75% of other schools across the entire UK, you would not do as well in maths, sociology or business as you do at Lambeth Academy. And this, as Mr. Hemming will talk to you about in a second, is a mixture of just excellent teaching and learning that we have at the school, excellent teachers who know their stuff, who know what it takes to get the A's and the B's at A level that you need to get into the very best universities, and the students who are just working so hard, who have the best aspirations that we can possibly expect of them. And that leads us here. Year on year, we're seeing an increase in students attending not only university, but the very best universities in the country. This year, you can see that we've had an unprecedented number of offers from Russell Group universities. We've had 54 offers so far. Russell Group universities are the best 24 universities in the country. And obviously, as you would expect, attending one of those best 24 universities in the country gives our students a really competitive edge when they finish their degree and enter the world of work. Here you can see that we've had 3 offers, the top 3 in the light blue and the green, from universities that are consistently in the top 10 universities in the world. They are Cambridge University, Imperial and UCL. The 2 green ones at the top are actually highlighted because These two universities are often in the world's best top 5 university lists. So if you look at any top 5 universities in the world, Cambridge University will always feature in the top 5, and Imperial will nearly always feature in the top 5. And just to give this some perspective, we haven't had a student attend Cambridge University or be offered a place even at Cambridge University since 2007. So when we talk about the developments that we've made, working with Surbiton High, one of the best independent schools in the country, and working with United Learning to make sure that we're doing the right thing by our students and really instilling that aspiration, the ambition, and the means to achieve, we can show you now that this is working. I'm now going to pass over to Mr. Hemming, who is going to talk to you a little bit about the team that we have in place and some of the incredible things that we can offer your child.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And thank you so much, first of all, for being here this evening. Partnership with parents is so important in the sixth form, and it really is a key part of the success. And the success story that we have these university offers in front of us right now is a direct result of all of the hard work that we've done together as a community. And we're really, really proud of these destinations and what this means for the life chances of our students. And yeah, as I say, we're really, really so proud of it. So I just want to start by introducing myself. So I'm Mr. Hemming. I'm the assistant principal for the sixth form, and you can see here that we have the whole sixth form team on the slide. We have a really fantastic, committed team who are really devoted to students at our school. We have an absolutely fantastic pastoral team of tutors who really do put the holistic development of your child at the very heart of what they do. And we're really, really excited to be welcoming the next cohort of Year 11 students joining our sixth form in September. So I just want to talk a little bit about, for those students who are here externally and parents of external students and Hurlingham, just about the school and where it is. So actually, we're really, really privileged to be in a fantastic area at Clapham Common next to Abbeville Village. And we really have wonderful state-of-the-art facilities at Lambeth. And if you've had a chance to come and do a tour of the school, if you haven't, please do let us know. We are running socially distanced tours of the school. We have really fantastic facilities, academic libraries, computer suites, gyms, and our outdoor sports facilities. Each sixth former who comes to us also receives their own Chromebook. And that's a really amazing resource, especially during the difficulties that we've experienced in the last year. So you can see here some of the pictures of our students and some of the facilities that we have to offer. And I'll be talking to you a little bit in more detail about how we use those areas and the provisions that we provide. So there are 5 reasons why I really believe that Lambeth Academy is special and the sixth form here is really, really special. Number 1, we have the absolute best teachers, I think, in the whole world, but absolutely in Lambeth. We have the best choice of subjects, all of which lead to success. And we only, we offer a broad curriculum, but there are subjects that we don't offer, but we do so deliberately because actually the subjects we know, which we do offer, we know lead to universities, and there are no barriers in place to students as a result of our curriculum at Lambeth. We will open the most doors to the best destinations, and you've seen already in what Mr. Mothershaw and Mrs. Welsh talked about in terms of destinations. We've had a record-breaking year of students applying to these top universities, and it's so fantastic to see. And I can show you quotes later on about students and what they have to say about the support they are given, and I can assure you it is second to none. We take it really, really seriously. We develop skills and character. We're really serious about the holistic development of your child. We take that so important, and we have an amazing tailored enrichment programme at Lambeth, which allows us to enrich each student and to really develop them holistically. And finally, we look after student health and well-being. And this is not a final point for me. This is central as well to what we offer. I take mental health really, really seriously as a psychology teacher as well. I think this is at the heart of excellent achievement as well and success in life, and we really do prioritise that. So I've said we've got the best teachers, but all of our teachers in the sixth form are experts in their subject, and they have absolutely amazing passion. They love teaching their subject. Small classes means that we at Lambeth can offer a lot more one-to-one support and personalised teaching than many other schools can offer. And this is something that, you know, we can't take lightly. It really does make a difference. We can offer 20% more teaching time. We have lessons which are 100 minutes long in the sixth form. This allows us really to get deeply into learning and to make sure that students are making the best progress possible and really getting the extra on top of the basics and the minimum which many of the schools will offer. We have an amazing masterclass program. Many schools, many sixth forms don't run masterclass programs for students. It kind of all stops in year 11. We don't do that. We think that actually students deserve the very best. The sixth form deserve the very best the school has to offer, and we do that. Many subjects, as Mr. Malershaw has already outlined, are regularly achieving top 1, 10% and 25% nationally for student progress, meaning that the majority of other schools are just not matching that progress in those subject areas. But what do our students say? And to me, that's more important. The teachers know how to teach the content in the most effective way, and they have passion. They're really dedicated to help you. They work really hard to support you inside and outside of lessons, and offer many sources of support about university and work experience. We have excellent teachers who give students amazing lessons. You can see how our students feel, and these quotes have all come from our student survey that we conducted earlier this year, and you know, every single one of them is really heartfelt, and it makes me really, really proud to see our students say things like this. We offer the best choices of subjects, and I said that we do offer 2 pathways at Lambeth. The first pathway is A-levels. So if you choose an A-level pathway, a student would study 3 A-levels over 2 years. If you chose a Btec pathway, you would study 1 of these subjects, and this is a Btec extended diploma, and it is equivalent to studying 3 A-levels. Both pathways lead to really prestigious universities, and there is often misconception about some of these pathways, in particular the Btec one, which says that it's not as academically rigorous. I can show you statistics from our university offers this year that proves that Btec students can get amazing offers from Russell Group universities, and they do, and they should. So I said we offer a number of different subjects. Here is our different A-level subjects that we offer in September, and the Btec subjects that we offer. You can see there's a really broad range of subjects on offer here, and actually they really allow students to select a tailored program for them, which will fit their interests. And it's really important for your son or your daughter to really think carefully about the subjects they choose. They want to choose subjects that they enjoy, because they will be studying them, and it's hard work for 2 years. But it's also really important they choose subjects which will open doors to them in the next stage of their career. And we offer really careful advice during the enrolment, and we have done during taster sessions and our sixth form interviews so far, that make sure that whatever subjects they are choosing, they are matching their aspirations for the future. We open the best doors to the best universities and apprenticeships, and here are some of our success stories from last summer from Russell Group universities and top 3rd destinations. So we had a number of students going on to fantastic universities to do a range of different subjects. I'm really excited to talk about Tawab, who is a student in year 13 who has received his offer to study medicine at Homerton College, Cambridge. This is an unbelievably competitive course to get onto. The success rate is really low, and actually for Tawab to have done this is a really amazing achievement. And I'm going to talk about all of the support and things that we do to support students to get to these kinds of destinations. And again, as has already talked about, all the amazing Russell Group, 54 offers from Russell Group universities. And, you know, this is really quite incredible, and we're so pleased. So how do we do it though? So how actually do we get our students to university, and what is it that really makes them cutting edge and makes them stand out. And because this is really important, and I really want to talk in detail about what we do to you now. So academic excellence is really, really important. So we take our curriculum really seriously in our teaching, as I've already outlined. But it's not just about the academics. The super curriculum and our enrichment provision is also really important. The super curriculum is any additional subject reading and learning that a student does outside of the core curriculum. So if you want to study psychology in the future, for example, this is things that me as a psychology teacher isn't teaching you, but actually that you would go away and study and learn separately outside of the course. Universities, especially Russell Group and Cambridge and Oxford, want to see super curriculum evidence and knowledge of your excellence in thinking. And I'll talk about how we facilitate this, but also enrichment as well. And we have an amazing enrichment program at school, which I want to talk more about. We have a Passport to Success program at school. This is from start to finish support with university applications. It's a long process. And actually, we offer one-to-one support and detailed information from start to finish. You will never feel out of your depth or scared of the university process with us, because we take good care of you and we really do help you. We have an amazing program for our Oxbridge students called the Excellence in Thinking program. This is a program that's specifically for students looking to apply for Oxford and Cambridge. Who, as you know, are the two of the most competitive universities in our country. But we do a separate program preparing them for that application, preparing them for the interview, and also teaching them and going through important skills they need in order to shine. We also run the extended project qualification, the EPQ, which Russell Group universities love. It's an additional program which allows a student to complete an independent project, earn UCAS points, and really stand out when they apply to university. We also have an amazing devoted higher education coordinator at our school called Miss Kotakova, who is an absolute, an amazing individual who really does give so much to students as well. And we offer one-to-one support from start to finish. So as I talked about the super curriculum already, so each subject area in our school, and this is something that really makes the sixth form at Lambeth quite unique. Each subject area, each subject leader in our school has a super curriculum plan. So we don't just tell students they need to do additional reading, additional projects, additional learning outside of the curriculum. We show them where to do it. We show them where to go. We incorporate it and bring it into the lesson as well to support students, because it's not easy just to go out there and do it on your own. So we provide that tailored support. And this is something that so many of the sixth forms just aren't doing, but it's what Cambridge, Oxford and Russell Group are saying they want to see on the application, evidence of the super curriculum. We have amazing resources in our school. We have a tailored and designated academic library for sixth form students that contains books, articles and prospectuses from university, covering a wide range of subjects, which allows students to really impress universities when they apply. We have a Passport to Success program. This is a program we run in our tutor time that begins in January of year 12, and we talk about and go through information about university and apprenticeships, so making decisions is really easy. As I've talked about already, we have our amazing Excellence in Thinking program, which is for our aspiring Oxford and Cambridge students. And this is a really amazing opportunity. This program is run not just by us, so it is run by members of our staff body who went to Cambridge or Oxford, but we also work really closely with United Learning on this and our partner school, Surbiton High School. Surbiton is an independent school that you have to pay to go to. We actually work and provide this program in partnership with them. So basically, we're giving you the same program that you would get at a private school, but for free. So you're not paying at all for this, and actually you're getting the same deal. And it's already paying off. You can see the success that Tower has had and so many of our other students at those universities that we talked about earlier. We take students and we expose students to the best that universities have to offer. So this is a trip last year we conducted to Oxford University, and actually it's really important for us to demystify some of these things around these top institutions. Often people feel quite worried or nervous or feel like they maybe don't belong in these places. That's absolute nonsense. Every single person, every single student at Lambeth Academy has every right to be at these top institutions, and we support our students to get there. We offer that extended project qualification. And I talked about that one-to-one support. A lot of schools will say that, but what do I actually mean by one-to-one support? So we build up students' enrichment profile, so their overall experiences, not just their grades. And we do that early. Career and subject choices. So we interview students one-to-one during year 12, and we talk about what career and subject they would like to do at university. We start that around about now, and we kind of do that one-to-one really early. We do, again, help with personal statements. So we provide loads of resources and support, and then we actually do one-to-one workshops, and we have external support and organisations like Into University who come in and help students write a personal statement. That's a big part of the application process that really matters. We again conduct interviews with students and one-to-one support around making their 5 choices. So it's all students, when they apply to university, make 5 choices, and it's really important that those 5 choices are carefully made. We look at data, statistics, and location, and the profile of each university carefully with every student, so they can make a really informed decision. Once you've had 5 offers back, we then meet students again to talk about which one you're going to choose as your first choice and which one you pick as your insurance, because you start with 5, but then you go down to 2. And that is really important. And we really guide students through that process so they feel like they are making the right choice. And finally, we also support students who want to apply to degree apprenticeships and other apprenticeships as well, through our programme of support. What do our students say? So I've said a lot, but you can see here all the different quotes from our students that talk about actually the UCAS support, the university application support, and the enrichment stuff that we do. And you can see that they've got a lot to say, and they're really, really pleased. And you know, this is really, really exciting, and we're continuing to grow our enrichment program all of the time. And yeah, this is really, really important. And as I said, we do develop skills and character, so through our enrichment program. So Miss Kotagova, our HE coordinator, sends students, sixth form students specifically, a bulletin every week with opportunities that students can take part in. And they cover what we call the 3 C's: community, challenge, and career. So you can see here all the different range of things that we do, and I'm going to just show you a few examples. So we work with a number of partners to develop skills, confidence, and leadership. Those partners include Envision, the Duke of Edinburgh, Motivate, and Fit for Future. These programs are really important because they develop leadership skills, they develop wider experience for life that really prepares students for the next steps that they are doing. And our students love to participate, and I'm really proud of that. Our sixth form lead our school community to be leading our new student leadership team as senior prefects, and they will lead each house as house captains. We have a house system here at Lambeth if you're from Hurlingham or an external student, and actually our students volunteer a lot at community events, and here's just a few examples from some of the events that students did last year. We expose students to a variety of different industries. We have loads of great connections with universities and with employers. So, in normal times, students would go to those places, or those employers would come to us. And we've done a really great job this year of actually adapting to the COVID situation by making sure we can still provide these things, but virtually instead. And we've got lots of examples of virtual lectures and talks that have been conducted, virtual workshops. So we've really done our best to adapt to the situation. And in our tutor program, we offer 45-minute sessions each week on careers as well. So we look at things like degrees, career goals, personal finance, writing a CV, public speaking, and we do that with organisations like Into University. We have, like I say, lectures from leading experts, Students even got to meet Hillary Clinton last year and received some talks from various professionals like doctors as well as like engineers. We really care about student well-being. And one of the key things that we do actually is students in sixth form don't have a full timetable of lessons with a teacher. So in those times in between, we have what we call study lessons. And in that time, unlike other schools, we actually offer a supervised quiet space. This is really important because at A-level, it is a big step up. There's a lot of work, and actually it's really important that we support students to not feel overwhelmed. So we make sure that space is quiet and protected in the week and after school, so that students can complete their work, go home and have a weekend and enjoy their evening. Many schools don't protect that time in the same way, and actually it's really detrimental, I think, to students' well-being. We really want to develop independent learning skills as well. University, you won't have teachers constantly there by your side, and actually independent study is a really important skill, if not the most important skill, that students need to learn with us in the 2 years they are at sixth form. So independent study time, protected time, helps to develop those skills. We also nurture wellbeing through our PSHE program. We have an amazing PSHE program in the sixth form. Every week we have PSHE sessions, 45 minutes long, which go through a variety of different topics: mental health, finance, etc., etc. We have really great facilities as well, like I've mentioned, where students can play football, yoga, take part in yoga, and enjoy sixth form deals at the gym as well. We're really excited to be offering that kind of co-curriculum program, and we're really developing this even further. So it would be absolutely fantastic to have year 11 students give us even more feedback so we can continue to do great work on this. So to summarise and to finish, so Lambeth Academy sixth form, do choose us if you value high standards, a place at a top university or apprenticeship, the opportunity to lead and develop, the best levels of support, and I've gone through the different types of support we offer this evening, being challenged, but also having a community which really looks after you and your well-being, and also that develops your ability to study independently. So to finish on the next steps, so you will have already received your offer letter following our sixth form interviews. Next week, I'm really excited to say we're running an Oxbridge evening on Thursday, the 11th of March for some of our year 12 students. But everyone in year 11 and parents, you are very welcome to join us on that evening. And I will be talking about some of our, in more detail, about some of our Oxbridge programs that we offer, the work that we do with Surbiton Academy in particular, and also to go through the EPQ and the things that really students who are aiming for Oxbridge want to think about. So that's next week at 6 o'clock. Please do join us. It will be on Teams again. We'll be running sixth form bridging classes in this academic year for our year 11 students, and we are looking at ways of also involving Hurlingham students in that as well, so we can get them on board and really give them a real experience of and chance to meet their teachers in more depth. Awarding, so obviously the GCSE grades will be awarded around July and August. There will be an enrolment day for sixth form in August, and then we'll have our sixth form induction in September. Again, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time this evening to listen and to get involved in your child's education and future. And I would just encourage all of year 11 students and Hurlingham students to complete their journey with us in September. And I think now we're going to hand over and offer the floor to any questions if you have any.
Hi everybody. Yes, so if you've got a question, if you want to type it in into the chat, then Mrs. Welch, Mr. Hemming and I will do our very best to answer those questions. So any questions, more than welcome. And we'll just give it maybe 30 seconds just to see if there's any interest in the questions there. Okay, it looks like there's no questions, which is good in one way. Sorry, we've got a question. Where can we find an offer letter? So the offer letters were sent just after the interview. So if you haven't received yours, if you could just get in touch with Mr. Hemming by email, and we can send you an offer letter. The offer letter really says that you've been given a conditional offer from us based on the grades that you get. And if you're not from Lambeth, then the reference also from your school. We've got a question here. It might be a bit specific, but this person's son has been accepted. He wants to do 2 A-levels and Btec music, which we understand is not like other Btecs. So what are the possibilities of that?
Yeah, I can answer that one. So Btec Music is a little bit different to the other extended diplomas that we offer. So Btec Music is actually worth 1 A-level. So it is one of the courses that we can offer alongside 2 other A-levels. And you'll see that when you look at the application form and the prospectus online and the option blocks, that fits alongside. So yeah, that's absolutely possible. Indeed, we have students at the moment who are doing Btec Music in year 13 and doing 2 other subjects as well, in the student I'm thinking of, in particular biology and psychology alongside that. But yeah, so that's absolutely possible as well.
We've got a question about talking a little bit more about A-level media studies, so I can answer that potentially, Mr. Hemming. So A-level media studies is an interesting subject. You look at media through various disciplines. So you look at media through history, so what was media like 100 years ago, to the ultra contemporary kind of subsectors that exist within media today. And through A-level media studies, you'll be introduced to many different types of media. But it's not just about watching movies or making movies, or watching pop music videos and making pop music videos, or whatever else it might be. You also have to, you're encouraged to engage in theoretical considerations from every platform. So, you know, how does the audience receive it? What's the representation like? What's the regulation like? What's the ownership? Any gender theory? You can bring in various different kinds of ideas from politics and ethics into your studies as well. So it's a really interesting subject where it's not just looking at analysing a video or a piece of media. You have to bring in lots of various other different theories and look at various different subsectors as well. So I hope that's answered your question. Let's just check again. Another question: when will students choose their study path for 6th form?
Yeah, so I can answer that one. So students have actually, when we've discussed and gone through the interview, students have told us what they ideally would like to study in those interviews, but that's not a final decision. So when we do our enrolment day in August, following results and grades obviously being awarded, we can then be in a position where we sit down, go through those results with the student, and talk about exactly what they would like, which courses they would like to enrol on. So the final process is not really till August, so it gives students plenty of time to have a think about it. And as I say, in between, we are running those bridging classes before summer, so that should hopefully give your son or daughter a better chance to kind of get an experience and an idea of which subject they definitely want to do once we have that discussion in enrolment day. Hopefully that answered the question.
And there's another question here about someone who is just asking about an offer letter. Obviously, we use a mixture of email and we use post. So if you haven't received it yet, please just again email Mr. Hemming and we'll make sure that we can communicate there. A question about the enrolment date. Do we know when the enrolment date in August might yet be? I don't know if Ms. Welch, you want to jump in on this one, but I think usually we tend to leave enrolment date quite late in August. So usually students will get their suite of results for GCSE, and then we can make really informed choices about what courses they're going to do next. Obviously, this year will be slightly different, so that might give us an opportunity to bring enrolment forward slightly once students have received their centre assessed grades that they'll get, which is great because it means that students can then start to do a little bit of research around their subjects earlier. But we will absolutely communicate as soon as we know any more about that. But you're right, it does give us an opportunity to kind of get that started a bit earlier.
Sorry, Mr. Mathew,
yes,
I was on mute, so I realised I was talking, but nobody could hear me. I believe that the A-level results has been moved forward to the 10th of August, so I believe GCSEs will follow suit and be a bit earlier than normal. So I think it's safe to say sort of mid-August is likely to be the day, and then I assume we'll do enrolment on the same day. So yeah, I think mid-August is a safe bet.
Great. Once the year has started, can students rethink the subjects that they have chosen?
Yeah, I can answer that. So the answer is yes. So students sometimes, in the first 2 weeks do sit a subject for a little bit and then decide they want to try something else. So we do have a window at the beginning of September where we have some flexibility to allow students to move around. Obviously, there will be certain timetable constraints to that. But usually we do, give students chance to kind of settle in and see how they feel. But obviously we normally have a cut-off point that isn't too far after, September, just because we don't want students to lose out on vital content. And, things do move quite at fast pace in sixth form, in A levels and in Btecs. So, those decisions really need to be made in those first few weeks. But yeah, we often have like one-to-one meetings and things with students who aren't sure. But we, as I say, all the bridging classes, we've ran taster sessions twice now this year for year 11 students. So it's all those kinds of things we're putting in place before the summer, which hopefully will give students a better idea and a clear idea of what they want to do. So we don't have many students changing, but it is possible.
And there's a question here. So we've heard that some students leave but then come back to Lambeth Academy from places like Dunraven. Is this true?
Yeah, that is true. So our current year 13 cohort, we had a number of students go off to other schools. So we had a student called Yakub and Tawab, who both went to Dunraven for a couple of weeks, and they came back. And as you know, Tawab is the student we talked about who now has an offer at Cambridge to study medicine. So really fantastic decision that he made. We've also had students go off to colleges who started with us, took a day in a college just to see what it was like. But they came back and were like, sir, we know we want to stay here 100%, because what we saw there was we weren't comfortable with. So, I'm really confident that, Lambeth is a place that should be every student's first choice. And the support and provision we offer you is really a second to none.
Yeah, I think it's worth saying as well that it's really sad that in some situations students leave it far too late to return to us. And when we say far too late, we mean more than a couple of weeks. And so was it 2 weeks ago, I think, I received an email from a student who'd left us to say, I really don't like college. The teachers just aren't giving me any feedback. And when I tell them at the end of the lesson that I'm stuck, they just say, well, you're just going to have to find a way around it. Whereas at Lambeth, we would, of course, take our lunchtime and sit with that student and say, OK, let's fix the situation because we can't have you confused or upset by this. And of course, it's too late for her to return now. So I would advise not doing that. But equally, I think Mr. Hemming is where he's absolutely right that we do always have students that come back to us, but some sadly just decide that too late, and then it would be too long. We've covered too much content for them to then rejoin. Is it possible to take 4 A levels?
Yeah, so I can answer that one. So this is a good question. So, there have been occasions where students have studied 4 A levels, but usually that's only the case where a student has achieved really fantastically high GCSE grades. A levels are really, really difficult. And actually, it's interesting because universities, the top universities, don't really want 4 A levels. They don't really care about the number of A levels you're doing. What they care about is that you get A's and A stars in those 3 A levels. So we do have there are 1 or 2 students sometimes that are in that position. But overall, you don't need to do 4, and actually it's better to have 3 and get A's and A stars in 3 than it is to have 4 A levels and then have B's, because you're losing out on university offers if you do that. So for that reason, we recommend, and I strongly recommend to all students, that they choose 3 A levels and make sure that they're their academic focus. And then we obviously do the super curriculum on top of that, which builds that kind of extra edge. 4 A levels really aren't needed, but individual case, we can look at it.
Great, thank you. That looks like all of the questions for this evening. So I just want to extend my thanks to you for joining us today, and I hope that you do join us in September for the remainder of your studies, so that you can eventually go to the best universities and get jobs at the best organisations in the world when you finish your studies there. But it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you have any questions, please just email myself or Mr. Hemming. You can find our details on the website.
Sorry, sir, we've just had one really good question. I think it's worth pausing for. Should you pick A levels which are related to what you want to be when you're older, or should you pick something you like? What a great question.
That is a great question. So it depends. So actually, I would strongly advise you do something that you enjoy, and that's really important, because A levels are difficult, as are Btec level 3s, and so you're doing it for 2 whole years, and you want to make sure that you're motivated and that you're engaged. But however, you also need to think about, what do you want to do next? So if you're really, really sure about something you want to do in your career after sixth form, then it's really important that you do think carefully about the subjects you pick on that basis as well. But actually, you might be in a position where you aren't sure what you want to do yet. That's absolutely fine. I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was, 21. It's absolutely fine. But if you're in that position, then you also need to think, okay, what do I enjoy? And make sure, and I can talk to you one-to-one about this. It's probably better doing it that way. But actually thinking about, well, what is going to leave the most doors open for me next? And actually, if you're not sure at this stage, it's probably better to go with things that you enjoy and that leave your options open. And I can talk to you if you let me know what you're thinking about what those subjects might look like. But yeah, if you are really sure what you want to do next, then that is something that you should definitely consider, like in terms of universities, what subjects do they want you to have? If you wanted to be an engineer, for example, or a doctor, there are certain subjects you have to do in sixth form if you want to be one of those professionals and do a course. So it really depends. But if you want to contact me, just drop me an email. My email address is on the website. I'm really happy to meet with you on Teams or in school if you're a student here or a parent, and I can talk through that in more depth.
Thanks, Tim.
So thank you very much for joining us, and any questions, please just email us, let us know. But it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll stick around for another couple of minutes just in case there's any more, but feel free to leave, and we look forward to seeing you in September.
Thank you, and do join us next week for Oxbridge evening if you would like to, 6 o'clock. Take care.